My friends, imagine a battlefield where the enemy has the most advanced Russian radars in the world, the feared S-400s. The operators are alert, the screens are glowing, but there's nothing on them. Suddenly, without a single warning on the control panel, the command bunker explodes. The sound of the jet only arrives seconds after the target has been deleted. This isn't a radar error, it's the success of an algorithm. And what you're going to see today isn't just a fighter jet. It's the anatomy of a beast called the F-35 Adir. With the new investment of 350 billion shekels, Israel is doubling down on stealth and artificial intelligence. But what makes the Adir, which in Hebrew means powerful, different from any other F-35 operated by the United States, by the United Kingdom, or by Japan? Why does Iran spend billions on air defense if against this machine they are technically blind? Get ready for a deep dive into doomsday engineering. I'm Simone Oliveira, and now we're going to dissect this machine. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and like the video. It takes a lot of work to make this. To understand Adir, you need to understand Israel's technological sovereignty policy. When a country buys the F-35, it receives a black box. The software is American, the codes are American, and maintenance depends on servers in the United States. But Israel imposed a non-negotiable condition: access to the core. The F-35 Adir is the only one in the world that has open-source software for Israeli intelligence. This allowed companies like Elbit Systems and IAI, Israel Aerospace Industry, to install their own C4 architectures: command, control, communication, and computing. And then you ask me, but Shimon, what does that mean in practice? Well, it means that the Adir is not a satellite of the United States. It is Israel's central server up in the sky. It has a proprietary electronic warfare EW interface that communicates in real time with the RO3 defense system, with the OFEC reconnaissance satellites, and with the tanks down on the ground. While a standard F-35 needs to process information via the NATO data link, the Adir makes decisions in microseconds based on the Middle East-specific threat library. It recognizes the thermal signature of an Iranian missile even before the Pentagon knows there was a launch. It's digital independence turned into air supremacy. Many critics and politicians say the F-35 is slow or that it doesn't fly far enough. Let's destroy that myth right now with data. The Adir is powered by the Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, the most powerful piece of propulsion engineering ever installed in a single-engine fighter. We're talking about 43,000 pounds of thrust. Just to give you an idea, that's enough power to make a 10-story building take off. This power pushes the Adir to Mach 1.6, almost 2,000 km/h, even while carrying smart bombs in its internal bays. But what about the range, you ask me? Well, Iran is 1,600 kilometers from Israel. The standard combat radius of the F-35 is about 1,100 kilometers. But how does Israel solve this? First, through the engineering of conformal fuel tanks, called CFTs, and external drop tanks that have been modified to minimize radar signature. Second, with the new KC-46 Pegasus, the Adir was trained to perform stealth refueling at high altitude. It takes off from Nevatin, its base, meets the Pegasus over the sea, and reaches the Zagros Mountains in Iran with full tanks and ready for the fight. The long arm of Israel's defense forces. It's not just a slogan, it's a calculation of fuel consumption and turbine efficiency. The Adir's invisibility doesn't come only from its faceted design or its radar-absorbing paint, the RAM. The real secret is the ASQ-239 Barracuda electronic warfare system. Just look at the level of technology. The Barracuda doesn't just hide the plane. It works like an airborne hacker. It identifies the enemy's radio waves, captures the signal, and sends back an altered version. The S-400 radar operator in Iran thinks he's seeing a clear sky. Or worse, he sees 10 fake targets in opposite directions. While the enemy is trying to figure out what's happening, the Adir has already identified the exact position of the missile battery through passive sensors, without emitting a single signal that could be tracked. He's a killer who strikes in total darkness using the EOTS.
Yes, Electro-Optical Targeting System.
A high-definition infrared sensor that can see the heat of an engine from kilometers away, allowing the pilot to fire without ever turning on the onboard radar. Because if you don't turn on the radar, the enemy has no signal to track. You're literally a ghost. Now, shall we talk about destruction? The F-35I is a machine with two sides. In the first phase of the war, it operates in stealth mode. All weapons are carried internally to keep the silhouette clean. In this mode, it carries 2.6 tons of bombs, enough to decapitate the command of an entire division. But as soon as the enemy's air defense is neutralized, Adir transforms. It enters what Lockheed Martin calls beast mode. It opens the external racks on its wings, and its payload capacity explodes to 8 tons. And this is where the Israeli precision munitions come in. Adir carries the Rafael Spice 1000 bomb. Forget about GPS, which can be jammed. The Spice uses image recognition. The pilot uploads a photo of the target into the aircraft's computer. The bomb drops, and through a camera on its tip, it compares what it's seeing with the photo. It adjusts its fins and hits the target with a margin of error of less than 1 meter. That's incredible. In addition, it uses small diameter bombs. A single Adir can carry up to 8 of these small bombs. Which means that, in a single pass, the lone fighter jet can destroy 8 different targets simultaneously. It's incredible, and it doesn't stop there. And to control this beast, the pilot uses the most expensive wearable technology in the world. The Gentry helmet mount and display system. There are no instrument panels blocking the view. The pilot doesn't look through the canopy. Thanks to the DAS system, 6 infrared cameras surround the plane. If the pilot looks down, the helmet projects a real-time image of the ground, as if the jet's floor were made of glass. If a missile is fired at the Adir, the helmet highlights the threat with a red symbol. It calculates an escape route and allows the pilot to lock on for a counterattack just by moving his head. Wherever the pilot looks, the missile locks on. It's the complete fusion between man and machine. My friends, the 350 billion shekels that Israel is investing to acquire 100 of these machines are not for defense. They're for the total incapacitation of the enemy. With 100 Adir fighter jets, Israel has the highest concentration of 5th-generation technology per square meter on the planet. They decided that sovereignty is not up for discussion. It is imposed through bits, bytes, and 8 tons of smart steel. While Iran relies on luck, Israel relies on algorithms. The Adir is proof that in the 21st century, invisibility is the most lethal form of presence. Comment here. Would you like Brazil to have these beauties to defend our sovereignty? And know this. It's possible to understand the landscape of the wars ahead and how each of these sensors protects our world. Do you know where to find real intelligence? The QR code is showing on the screen, and the link is in the first pinned comment and in the description. Come check out our blog, Banker de Intelligencia, where we dive deeper into these topics. A guide to help you make sense of what's happening in the world. I also want you to follow our new channel about series and movies. They're about to release Top Gun. Yes, Top Gun 3, which talks about these amazing fighter jets. Will he use the F-35 this time, or will he stick with the powerful F-18 Hornet? Well, we talk about that on our channel. Click the link in the description and here on the card. Series without whining, without cooch or walk, a curated selection for you to enjoy with your family. Now, shield your mind, protect your perception. I'm Simone Oliveira, and I'll see you in the next video.